Warning, this podcast was produced by two men who still think that swearing is both big and clever. As a result, it contains quite a lot of it. Therefore, this podcast is not suitable for children, unless they're really fucking cool children. Yes, people, Dave Fensom here with another episode of Pop Collaborate and Listen. First of all, sorry we've been gone so long. It's been difficult to get our schedules to match up. Spent a couple of weeks out of the country in Boston. Had a lovely time, thank you. We're two grown men both working quite hard, so that's the way it is. That's why this is free, I guess. Anyway, thank you ever so much to everyone who got in contact with us to let us know what they thought about the Pet Shop Boys episode. We had fun doing it. Not a classic album. Some of you guys out there really loved it, but most people I think were in agreement it was not their best work. I want to send a couple of shout outs here. First of all, to the guys from Riot Act Podcast. Big up to Stephen Hill, who's got a new podcast called True Cult Pop. We got a little shout out. Well, I got a shout out. They said I sounded like the rapper from Ebenezer Good. Pricks. And also, Remfree's got a podcast called 3 is the Magic Number. I don't believe he's alluded to the fact I sound like any particular rapper, which is a plus for me. Anyway, big up to those guys. They're always really good to us. Check out their new works and support what they're doing. What else can I tell you? Oh, yeah, I've had some reasonably big news. Not big news, really. I've launched a website like it's 1998. DaveFensom.com. If you want to find out where I'm gigging and read stuff I've written about myself. It's all very fucking egotistical, isn't it? But the one thing I have got on there is my special, ADH Dave. It was my 2019 Edinburgh show. I recorded a version of it just after lockdown 2021. I'm pretty proud with the way it turned out. It's a very personal show. I was quite glad to say goodbye to it because it's about quite a difficult time in my life. But I hope you guys will go and check it out. As I say, if you go to davefensom.com, go to the video section, you will be able to find it. If you want to leave a comment on the YouTube or give it a thumbs up or something like that, that would hugely be appreciated. If you think it's shit, keep that to yourself, mate. Don't need to hear it. I get that in gigs. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. We're talking about Take That. We wanted to get my wife Jenny involved, as we alluded to on the Meatloaf episode. It was just going to cause at least another 2 weeks worth of delay, so we went down the path of least resistance on this one. If you are tuning in hope to hear from Jenny, I'm really sorry. We'll get her back on something in the not too distant future. Her feedback is basically she liked Howard's bum. That's pretty much it. Anyway, guys, enjoy this episode and I'll see you soon. Yes, people, welcome to another episode of Pop Collaborate and Listen. My name is Dave Fensom. I'm here with Mr. Krista Greer.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, man, we're here. We're back.
We are back.
Sorry for the delay. I mean, I'll have apologised in the intro. Fuck it. You're not having a second apology from me.
Yeah, fuck yes.
Anyway, we're back. We're going to talk about, I mean, if you talk about pop music in the 1990s,
which is essentially what we are doing.
If you're in the United Kingdom, not going to be in that conversation very long before the name of the band that we're covering today turns up.
Absolutely. One of the biggest ones of the decade, really, and still going today.
Absolutely.
We talk about a lot of different pop acts in passing on this. Most of them did not last. Most of them in and out, gone. Never seen again.
These guys have got a surprising amount of albums I discovered on Spotify.
That's very true.
Anyway, so look, you've downloaded this. You can see the name on the screen. Obviously, there's not really a lot of point in. We're alluding to the fact that it's Take That, obviously.
It is absolutely Take That.
This is their second album, Everything Changes.
Yes, indeed. And this was the first one that got to number one, which is why we're doing it. The previous one, 1992's Take That and Party, only got to number 2. And we kind of, glossed over it. We mentioned it whenever we had to in the top 10. But we didn't actually have to do a full episode on it. And so this is the first time that we have properly done a full look at the band and an album.
I mean, I'm presuming at the time you were not listening to Take That.
Certainly not. No. And where we're looking at, this is October 1993. And so I had started university that year in September. This is, October, I was now going out in Studentville and going to, I was trying to go to a load of the indie clubs that were around because that's what I was into.
Yeah.
But obviously, Freshers' Weeks, student nights, cheap booze, the £1 Monday night stuff, I was going to some pop nights.
Yeah.
And so I was very aware of Take That because I was hearing it and it was all over the radio and all over TV, but I was not listening to it. I had absolutely gone, fuck those guys.
Yeah, fuck those guys. It was, to me, it was, I guess, the epitome of bland pop that was out there.
Yeah.
My opinion has kind of changed on Take That over time.
Mm-hmm.
And looking back now, I would say there's a very, very solid set of hits in their back catalogue. And I can name a load of Take That songs that I very much like. I tell you what I have never done, though, and that's listen to a Take That album.
Oh, no. Why would you ever listen to an album? Because pop acts like this especially, the singles are the good ones.
Yeah.
Those are the ones you hear on the radio because they are the good ones. No one wants a pop act album track in general.
Look, I've got some Paula Abdul album tracks that I'm very, very fond of. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I've been talking with Stephen Hill about Nana Cherry on Twitter a little bit, and I've got some Nana Cherry album tracks that I'm very fond of, to be honest with you. Big shout out to Stephen, by the way. Check out his new podcast. Well, it's kind of a continuation of their old podcast, but with a new presenter. True Cult Pop. I got someone said I sounded like Ebenezer Goodwin the other day. Fuck you, people.
Yeah, that's abuse. That is cyberbullying.
It is abuse, and I've got loads of salmon. So there you go.
But no, obviously, why would you ever listen to Take That album if you didn't have to? If you're us, I certainly wasn't listening to that at the time. There was, whenever I moved into my first student house in '93, the girl who was there, a girl called Joanne, lovely girl. She was from Newcastle or somewhere around there, and she was the biggest Take That. She was, had posters on the wall, that sort of stuff, playing it all the time, and so. That kind of gave me an extra, oh, for fucking hell, these guys, because they were so everywhere around me in that point. So I definitely took against them. And it was such a big album when this came out that Radio 1 was awash with this stuff.
Oh,
and that's all we had to listen to at that point.
This is kind of, it's not even really peak Take That because they got even bigger.
They did.
But this was the release where it was like, there were queues of people waiting up for this. Well, girls fainting whenever anyone from Take That.
Yeah, this was a big step up for them from the last album. And if we look at the last album was Take That and Party, their first album, the last one, and it went in at 5 in '92, peaked at number 2. We never had to do it. And that was like 2 years after they formed. They formed in 1990, and they were essentially formed around Gary Barlow. There was a producer who had gone, I want to make the UK New Kids on the Block. He knew Gary Barlow was a songwriter and formed the rest of the band around him. So you brought in Robbie Williams and Mark Owen to do backing vocals. Yeah. And then there was Jason Orange and Howard Donald, which is a very Northern Irish great
Jesus Christ. Let's hear you say Howard again.
Hard Donald?
Hard Donald. Yeah. I've got one of the hardest Donalds I've ever had. I could bang a nail in with this.
Well, Hard Donald was brought in.
We're just going to have to call him the H-Man. I can't have this.
He was, again, he was the oldest of law as well. He was like 20 or something whenever they started, 22. He was older than the rest.
Which means he was old enough to know better about those dreadlocks later down the line.
Oh, God, really was.
He really was, yeah.
But so they were brought in and they formed around the basis of Gary Barlow's being the singer-songwriter, and the rest of them were just some fluff for the girls to look at. And the first album did well. And it spawned, out of 13 tracks on the first album, 7 of those fuckers were singles. Yeah. One of them didn't make top 75, so fine, but it got them noticed. Then they got like a top 41, and then they had top 20s and top 10s from that album. This album, all the singles, and there's 6 singles from 13 tracks on this one, and they all went top 5. Right, so this is a step up, and this is also where you do see the kind of the real Take That mania kicking in. This is where you see they're winning the Smash Hit Poll Winners Party awards. People are queuing up to, meet and greet the band.
And obviously, in this album, obviously built around Gary Barlow, but in this album's 13 tracks, Gary Barlow is the main vocalist on the lion's share of them.
But, absolutely.
But you've also got a lead track by Robbie Williams. You've got a lead track by Howard Donald.
Yep.
And you've got a lead track by Mark Owen.
Absolutely.
Jason Orange.
Yeah, sorry, Jace.
Sorry, Jace.
Yeah, you just keep dancing in the background.
You carry on.
Yeah, but look, you're right. This is the first time that he had maybe let. I think the previous album, Robbie had done Could It Be Magic? And that was a top 10 hit. But no, absolutely, it was more him than this one. This one, he's only lead on 10 of the 13 tracks.
Cool.
Tell you what I didn't realise as well. Gary Barlow apparently did have a proper reputation as a good songwriter at the time. As a fucking young lad, he was 14 or 15 when he was writing songs. One of his first gigs, he played the organ in a Ken Dodd show when he was 14.
Really?
That's what his role was. He was like the musical accompaniment to Ken Dodd. And he submitted a Christmas song to Pebble Mill, their song for Christmas thing. When again, he was like 15 or something, then it got played, and it was shortlisted and played on the show. And it was called Let's Pray for Christmas. Lovely.
That's beautiful,
lovely. Man. Yeah, that's where Gary's coming from.
Also, an under 18s limbo champion.
What?
Yeah, he was known as Set the Barlow Barlow.
Fuck me. Well, there we are. Oh, lovely. I just want to point out that the first shit joke of this episode wasn't by me.
Didn't even write that one down. Straight off the dome. Straight off the dome. Pow, pow, pow.
Amazing.
Anyway.
Also, this album, there are 4 number 1 songs in a row of this album where the single went in at number 1. And they were the first people since the Beatles to do that in the UK charts.
And very, very comparable bands.
They also were the first act to release 8 singles that entered the chart at number 1.
Wow.
And apparently this album holds the UK record for the number of top 10 singles for a group from one album.
Wow, that is
okay.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that because when you think about people that have done that, it is mostly solo artists, isn't it?
Or it'll be like there were 5 went top 10, and then the last one got to number 27.
I mean, I guess what we're saying here is take that were a legitimate pop sensation in terms of
really big deal.
What they did in the UK. Yeah. There was no one bigger. No one was eclipsing them. In terms of actual just kind of powerful out of the gate pop music sales.
Yeah. Think about this, right? This album, and again released in October, was the 3rd best-selling album of the year, 1993 in the UK.
Yeah. Wow.
With 2 months essentially of sales, only beaten by Meatloaf, which we've seen was a fucking behemoth, and R.E.M., which was released much earlier in the year.
Sure.
So it was a huge album. This was really big.
Yeah, from a bunch of, kind of early, like late teenagers, early 20 lads. And Howard Donald.
Grandad Donald over here.
Anyway, so right, let's, as we always do, we always start with the album cover. And wow, what an album cover this is. It's over here.
Nonsense.
Oh, I mean...
yes, I got the CD for this. I bought this for how much?
99p.
99p in a charity shop.
You got 99 pence and it bought you the CD.
Yeah.
I mean, this is joyously gay, isn't it?
It's so camp.
There is gay porn that isn't this gay. I could go over there and suck your cock now, and it would not be as gay as this album cover, or anywhere near as sexy.
That's true.
Although I would get paid.
Would you?
I fucking would.
In sperm?
Ugh. Yeah. Sperm dollars. Take this, tadpole pounds.
Spunk bucks, no problem.
I mean, at least we're both admitting that you would come.
Oh, true enough, actually. Yeah, okay.
Anyway, right, fucking, where does this come from? Anyway,
so sorry.
Anyway, carry on.
I was going to say that whenever they first came out, obviously they had that infamous video. The very first thing they released was them dancing in like assless chaps.
Yeah.
And so they were definitely going for the gay club scene audience in 1990 or 91, whatever that was. By this point, I wonder, were they still deliberately courting that, or are they gone, actually, the market is now teenage girls?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's very...
Or is it just both? Is that photo both?
Look, let's talk about what the album did. Let's kind of set a scene here. Yeah. So basically, what you've got is it's some lovely lads. They're all wearing kind of light linen. I'm not sure if it's white or beige. Yeah. And they're all in a pile, aren't they?
They are. They're all kind of cuddling and looking at each other and smiling.
Gary Barlow's got a shark tooth necklace on.
Yeah.
Don't know why.
It was the 90s.
Jason Orange looks like he's recently been entered. I mean, look at that face on Jason Orange. He's like, yeah, that's happened.
Yeah, it's in.
He's quite mellow with it though. Howard's looking right. Robbie's looking left. Mark Owen straight into the camera.
Yeah.
I don't know, this kind of everyone in white linen aesthetic. I feel like I've seen a lot of boy bands dressed like this.
Absolutely. Well, it's a classic boy band thing. It's the pure lads, these sweet boys who you could bring home and meet your mother. Yeah, fair enough. New kids wouldn't have dressed like this. They were more gangster. Yeah. Yeah, as we found out when we listened to that album.
Big up them.
Take that definitely. E17 wouldn't have done this.
No, absolutely not. But E17, look, right, let's be clear, right? These are not bad boys like E17. These are lads that will hold your hand at the chemist while you get the morning after pill.
Absolutely.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, stroke your hair as you throw it up.
Why is it so white though, man? Is it in heaven? Is it a gap ad? This is an image that was not composed with me in mind, obviously. And you know what? As an archetypal image, right, this very much works as a cover for this album.
You think so? I think it's too bland. I think it works as an inside cover or something, but I think it's not striking enough for an album cover.
Oh, I think for this album cover, if you're going...
It's so neutral.
If you're going, I want to sell this album to the audience that we're going to sell it to, I think that works very, very well.
Yeah.
You're not going to sell it to me, and I don't particularly like it.
Yeah.
But you're not trying to sell it to me.
Oh, not at all. Not at all.
So as a piece of marketing, I think this is very, very well conceived. It's so fucking early 90s. Look at that hair, man.
I was watching some of the videos and the hair is dreadful.
Look at the amount of hair gel these people have.
Yeah.
There must have been companies that sold hair gel in the 90s that were just absolutely at the top of the stock exchange.
Oh, sure.
And when the 2000s came, they must have been like,
oh, what's happened here?
Yeah, fucking hell, I guess we're going to have to sell everything.
Yeah.
Because, that amount of hair gel was unsustainable, wasn't it?
Maybe they ran out. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe they used up all of the natural hair gel sources in the world.
Anyway, so look, it is what it is. It's an archetype. It's shit.
It is. And, after these guys, Boyzone did that. Westlife did that. The imagery was set then for a lot of years for this is what boy bands do.
Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah. All right. Don't think there's anything else I need to say about this. Just we've said how big a deal this album was. We've said that we had never heard it before because at the time they were the fucking devil.
Yeah. What are you thinking going into this though? What's your expectation?
Because similar to you, I mellowed on the band over time. It didn't take me too long because Back for Good in whatever that was, 95, I thought, that's a really good song.
Yeah.
And looking back, I was probably just being a dick a lot of the time for the sake of it because I was aware that some of these songs were catchy. I was just deliberately not liking them. Mm-hmm. But I was going into it going, this is an album of 90s pop, and I suspect it's going to be not very good.
See, I'm going into this a little bit more optimistically. I'm going right. I probably know most of the singles. I'm hoping that there's a couple of other bits on here that are, upbeat and fun, and maybe some choruses or something like that.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So I'm going in this going, okay, I'm hoping this is going to be fun.
Fine, yeah. I would like to think that, but I'm dubious going in.
Okay, well, let's go into track one. The album, the first track is the title track. It's called Everything Changes.
Okay.
Let's see what we got. Oh, it's Barry White straight away. And there he goes.
This is Robbie Williams on the solo vocal.
On the solo creep.
And right in with the falsetto here as well.
Okay, light contemporary disco banger, or plodder, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It's got that very, very 90s production where everything is smooth.
Sure. Oh, I mean, this is very, very produced. And, you have to say the production is good on most of these songs.
Yeah, I mean, listen to that. There's some real fucking accent mangling coming on from Robbie Williams here.
I don't know why, but he seems to be doing some of the real Elton John wows. I don't know why he's trying.
Yeah, I guess if his solo career, he doesn't sing like this, does he?
I don't think so. Not that I can remember. This whenever this came on, I was like, oh, that's a bit weird.
And we're in a kind of slightly pre-auto-tuned age here.
Yeah.
And there are some fucking flat notes in parts of this.
Some places you're going, oh, that stands out.
I
don't. Why is it in this such a high register? Because he sounds like he's struggling some of this.
Yeah. I mean,
don't know.
Young in his career, doesn't know his limits yet.
Possibly, or it might be that Barlow wrote it for himself. and maybe this is what he would have sung it in, and he's just gone, actually, fair enough, Robbie, you do this one. I don't know.
So, I mean, look, the singing isn't what we'd call inspirational. The lyrics are saccharine and throwaway.
Yes.
And this, it's often the chorus you look for and take that song, and I don't think this is a great chorus.
I think it's just dull as shit.
Yeah, it is hooky, and it is like it will stick in your brain. I've had
Sure.
this song rotate in my brain a lot since I've been listening to this album.
Oh, I see, really?
But I think the harmonies are quite languid. I mean, there's a very, very sexy sax coming up.
Oh, there's certainly that was the only bit that I was happy with on this song, because I think the rest of it is pretty ballless.
Yeah, I'm not into this one.
No. Oh, here we go. Is it coming up? Oh, it's coming up soon. No, I think this is, for a first song on an album, I think it's a bad choice.
Yeah.
But then this was a single. This got to number 1. It was the 5th single of the 6.
Mm-hmm.
It got to number 1 in April '94. Oh, here we go. Saxophone.
Come on.
But it's possible that it got to number 1 just on momentum alone, because this is the 5th single, and they were already just getting number 1 because people were buying it. Because Take That.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a good song.
Yeah, I think this is like a fucking bad Donna Summer B-side.
Yeah, and the drums are so far down in the mix, it's like they're not even there. This is just, there's nothing
that's
at all.
not a problem that this album has a lot, but it's
No, but on this one, really
and it's a really a lot of these things depend on how you feel about straight 4/4 disco beats.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm not, I'm not their biggest exponent. I like them when they're done well.
Sure.
I mean, I'm a massive Lady Gaga and Madonna fan. So,
yeah, true.
But no, not for me.
No.
It doesn't do
It's
anything well. It's insipid and it's throwaway, and it's not a good first track. I think we're in agreement there.
No, and for me as well, this is only 3.5 minutes of a song, which, thank you very much, well done, keep it short. But it feels like longer because it's the same chorus over and over. There's only a couple of verses which change it up. Everything else is just the same shit.
It very much feels very one note, the whole song, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's on.
It's like they've looped that bit and then it's just going on.
Yeah, rubbish.
No, and like you say, the lyrics are pretty bollocks. It's Robbie and his lady friend are going to be separated by distance, and that's going to be a big change for them, and everything changes. But the one thing that won't change is you and me, girl, I'll still love you.
Yeah, we've got that from just the words. Everything changes.
Oh, exactly.
I mean, come on.
The one thing I don't understand though in the lyrics, right? Why would this conversation that he's having about everything changes, but you and we're still, we're going to get through this. It's fine. Why would he put in a bit that says, "The rumor's true. There have been others. What I can do, I tell you, baby, they don't mean a thing." Don't bring that shit up.
Yeah. Just
leave that.
Just leave it to one side, mate.
Exactly. No one wins. If
But
you bring
maybe
this up.
he knows that she's about to bring it up, and he thought he'd get it in there quickly.
Well, in that case, get ahead of it.
Get ahead of the game.
Absolutely.
Yeah, control the narrative.
There you are.
There we go.
Possibly. But
Right.
then, do we? Right. I think we have to at the top of this. This is a pop album, and this is a pop album by some fucking 19-year-olds. And Gary Barlow's actually writing the lyrics for these. It's not, well, for most of them anyway.
Yeah.
It's not some 50-year-old producer writing words for young lads to sing. The lyrics are almost, by the by.
Oh no, I mean not even almost. They are. Look, they're.
You could pretty much ignore all the words on this album, couldn't you?
Literally all you need is love and girl, and that's pretty much what you've got. These are not songs designed to hold up to any real level of scrutiny.
No,
do you know what I mean?
They're sing-alongs for 14-year-olds.
They're not songs for fucking jaded 50-year-old men to sit. We're not that either of us are 50 yet.
Yes, please.
Men in their 40s.
Thank you.
Late 40s. Or sorry, in my case, mid to late 40s.
Shut your face.
Go fuck yourself. But look, if we sit and tear them apart, we're probably the pricks.
No, and that's what I'm saying. If we just put a little asterisk beside all the lyrics and go, we know these are terrible. They're just bland filler.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
And this is filler. Right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I watched the video for this as well. And it's got all of them in like this sepia jazz cafe. And they've got like waistcoats on and nice white shirts.
That's what you'd wear, yeah.
Of course. They're all pretending to play instruments as well. Well, Gary Barlow's at the piano, actually playing, and he's probably watching Mark Owen on the, fumble a double bass, going, fucking prick, you don't have a clue. And they look so young, ridiculously young. But from the off, this is the first video I watched because it's the first one on the album, and Gary Barlow just looks like he doesn't really fit in. He's a bit of a Barlow.
He set the bar low.
There's got these 4 lads, and they've obviously been picked for their looks, or or swagger and this sort of stuff. And he's there playing the piano, actually playing the piano, and going, "I wrote this. Hello, everyone, look at me. I wrote this song.
Yeah.
Don't look at these people. Don't look at Robbie singing." And he's just like, "Oh, mate."
I'd imagine this is much how you feel in the podcast, because you do all the producing. It's like, and and all the feedback is like, "Well, isn't Dave brilliant?"
Yeah. Doesn't Dave sound like he did Ebenezer Goods? Yeah.
Didn't fucking mention you, did they?
No, certainly didn't.
Yeah, you wait. Fucking, they'll review the cause at some point.
It'll be Ash. He's like, "Oh, doesn't Krister sound like that?" Fuck yourself, mate. No, I do not.
You got in there early. Control the narrative.
Yep.
So, disappointing, inauspicious start, I would say.
I would say the exact same. I think they should have thought that better and tracked it better and done a different song, number 1.
So, track number 2, though, another single. This one's Pray. Okay, we've got an up-tempo start.
Yeah.
Drums are a little bit further in the mix this time round.
Yeah, it's got a bit more swing to it.
Some weird noises.
But yeah, this has got a bit more oomph to it.
Yeah.
This was the second single and got to number 1.
Yeah. And here we are. We're in safer hands now. It's Barlow's vocal.
Gary, yeah.
Slow and understated here.
I like the way that it started in a major key and this has gone into the minor for the verse, so that it can go back into a major for a chorus. That's a nice little dynamic.
And it gives it that little kind of, it's like, minor keys make me feel sad.
Yeah. Ooh. Oh. I hope everything's going to be okay. Yeah. And this song knows very much what it's doing.
Bridging.
Yeah. A little bit of backing vocal.
Yeah, nice little dynamic on this. And here comes the money maker.
Yeah, there's a much bigger chorus for me than the first one.
Yeah, that's a massive chorus. You can't fuck with this chorus.
Yeah, this is actually catchy for me. This is one I would have remembered.
Yeah, it's great, man. Look, it's nice. There's just nice dynamics at play throughout the entire song. You got this kind of basic bitch breakbeat, but they're playing around it. It's slinky.
I mean, that beat is from Soul to Soul. That's the Back to Life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that little kind of high bell part. I was like, I know that. I looked it up. That's Back to Life.
As I say.
It's a great beat.
If you were in 1993 and you're sampling Soul to Soul, I stand by the fact I get to call you a basic bitch.
I was saying, everyone was doing it.
I'm not saying it's a bad break.
No, but everyone did it. It was the standard break at the time. Yeah.
Amen to that. Hey! A little bit of breakbeat humour.
Look at this. This one for the diggers.
Diggers.
Thank you, yes. I think we should... So what I will say is this song, for me, much better. Much, much stronger.
This is a great song.
This is the first one we've seen that Barlow is singing the lead on. And he is also struggling to hit some of these notes. He's not got a strong voice. This is a weak voice he has, and he does his best with it. Yeah. But it's not... we've seen much less talented people in our journey with much better voices.
This is the interesting thing, actually. Yeah, he's obviously got a very good ear for music and vision it out very well. He obviously understands the scale, knows where he wants it to be, but at times, and I don't know whether this bears out in later stuff or whether it's just like young in his career. But yeah, at times he's writing himself into things that he can't deliver.
Honestly, yeah, it's a weird one because. Why would you do that?
Well, it'd be less of a problem today because they just auto-tune the fuck out of it.
Oh, very true. Yeah.
Pitch it up, pitch it down.
I mean, if you look at Gary Barlow at this point as well, I watched the video for this, and this is one where they're all on a beach, and they are kind of some of them in the linen shit, and Gary Barlow's in a waistcoat with nothing underneath, showing off a very, very no hair chest as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's take that.
Well, it's right, yeah, just rip it off.
That's what they say when they wax.
So, yeah, it's all that sort of stuff, water cascading over someone, that sort of business.
Yeah, like a lot of kind of quite phallic...
it's let's make these boys wet.
Yeah, let's moisten these guys up.
Precisely.
They'll return the favour.
Well, quite. But again, Barlow looks very young, and he's got the really gelled hair in this one, with that, where it's sort of curling over into the fringe at the front, at that straight line across.
Yeah, he's like literally one step away from the frosted tips, isn't he?
He honestly is. It's that sort of shit. But then you look at him today, and he is a man who has grown into his face.
Yeah, for sure.
He looks much better today. Maybe he has also grown into his voice. Maybe it's one of those things that at that point you try shit and it doesn't quite work. And maybe it's these days he's like, I wouldn't have done that. I don't know.
I mean, of course, but he's a malleable young kid in this situation with a talent, and he's being directed by people that can make him famous.
Oh, totally.
And and they did.
They
so
absolutely did.
In these in this situation, you look at this band, and a set of marketeers knew very much what they were doing with this band.
Oh, mate, the record company have that template set out. Like, they will go for this, and then we'll have one of the boys who would appeal to this sector, one of them who will appeal to the slightly rebellious ones. He'll get dreadlocks. It was perfectly marketed.
But the whole thing is, if it was that easy, you would produce 1 million of them.
Of course.
And the thing is, it's like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. In every generation, there can only be one. And that's what it is. It's like you put all that stuff together, but there is an alchemy that exists with it. I don't want to do them down by saying, it's just marketing shit. And it's not, because there has to be something that people grab a hold of. Like Jenny, when she was a teenager, my wife, we wanted to get on this episode, but we just couldn't make it work. She loved them. They were like, they spoke to her as a teenager. There's just something about this group of people and the way they spoke to prepubescent girls. That,
who knows? And it doesn't always work. You're absolutely right. Boy bands come and go often, especially in the 90s. It was big time.
Oh, man, there were hundreds of them.
And some of them had one song that did okay, and then you never heard from them again because it didn't have that, the je ne sais quoi, whatever it is about that. But then you do look at stuff that hit, like Boyzone and Westlife for me, where it's 5 blokes with 0 talent. No one's writing songs in that. They can't even fucking dance. And some of them are pretty ugly. But they were massive. And I don't know what that is. The only thing I've written, I don't know why I wrote this, in terms of the video where they were all, like you say, moistened up, I've written that this will have caused more frothing than Diet Coke and Mentos.
Oh wow, that's you went there.
Apparently so.
Well, right. I'm sure you were tired.
Yeah. Right. I think that's probably all I've got on that one.
Track number 3, Wasting My Time.
Well, okay. Is it? Is this the first non-single that we've come on here? I'm interested to go. All right, let's see if there's a drop off in quality.
Yeah. A bit of a reggae feel.
It does.
It's the big ooh coming through there.
Yep.
I listen to those kind of, like, this is so pedestrian. Like, there's that kind of swinging, kind of like easy listening, Liberace sound. Like,
oh, yeah, I think they're going for more of a beach sound, like a Loco and Acapulco kind of thing.
Yeah, but it's just what it sounds like. Is it sounds like this song was specifically written for Saturday night ITV.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Like this is like this is the Anton Deck of pop songs.
Right. Yeah, and exactly that fake horn keyboard sound. Yeah. Yeah. Every time I did a listen through this, I didn't remember this song. It's so forgettable.
Oh god, it's so forgettable. Yeah. There's a guitar solo in this.
Oh, is it? I don't remember
that. See?
I don't remember. I do. I've got only remember because I got a note that there's a bit where Robbie Williams comes in, does a bit of kind of chatting in the background, and then some saxophones barp, like go proper barp, 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 barp.
But wait, let's get the guitar solo.
All right. I was also slightly disappointed that they didn't go full reggae on this, because I think someone in the production team was like, we could go down that road.
I think someone in this album has heard New Kids on the Block and went, maybe we shouldn't.
Maybe true.
That's what I think. Yeah. We've either got to go further or pull back a bit.
Yeah.
How do we go further? We can't.
It's not possible.
Unless we all black up.
Oh, yeah, true.
Listen.
Oh, it's so clean.
Look, I've put here, the guitar solo is like your mate's dad at school. Comes out at a school event, he's wearing a hat, plays it, everyone's really impressed. He enjoys the attention, then he drinks too much Old Speckled Hen and embarrasses himself dancing later in the
Excellent.
evening.
Oh, I like this guy.
Yeah.
I want to hang out with him. Yeah. No, this is absolute nonsense, this one. Fair enough, it is the first non single one that we've come across.
I mean, this could never. This is very much a non-single.
Totally.
This is so cabaret.
Oh, here we go.
Oh no! Listen to that.
Barn. Yeah, there you go. Robbie Williams saying some shit.
Yeah, this is a skit on like the Russ Abbott show or something,
isn't it? Yeah, absolutely.
This is Saturday night kind of light entertainment. A bit of variety.
Horrible.
No thanks.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
No, thank you, sir.
Not at all. All right. So, okay. First three, I'm saying 1.5 out of 3 on that. Yeah.
Well, where were given the half to half to.
I was given half to Everything Changes.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. We'll give it. All right. So
let's see what we've got next then.
Track number 4. This is another single. This is Relight My Fire.
Right, and this was the big one that I remember from the time.
And fucking rightly so as well. This is a cover. This is a Dan Hartman cover.
Yes, indeed. It's a disco tune.
Yeah, for me, this is the superior version of the song.
I would agree with that.
I think this is an absolute banger. It's just got that beat and it's got the pace on the vocal. I'm like, I think if you can't feel this one and you say you like pop music, I don't know what to say to you really.
I don't like it.
You don't like this?
Don't like it. This annoys the piss out of me.
I fucking love this, man.
Really?
This to me is clearly the best track on the album.
Oh, right.
70s fireworks, roller stakes. Lulu stomps in with, fucking with all the airs in the background.
She's got a big old voice. She does well on this.
I think this is a straight up banger, this one.
Everything you're saying is true, and I objectively go, yeah, this is a great pop tune because it's got all the bits. It's got a really catchy chorus. It's very disco. It's 4 to the floor, all that shit. It's possibly because of the hangover from hearing it so much in '93.
Yeah,
I really fucking hated this.
Very surprised to hear you not like this.
I hated this at the time so much.
Yeah,
so much with a fucking visceral passion that I don't think I've ever got away from it.
Yeah, I mean, if there's one thing I know about you, it's your ability to move on.
It's true.
Look, fair enough. I'm gonna say I think you're flat out wrong on this one,
okay.
and totally understand being coloured by memories of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I think this is objectively a great song, and for me, the most successful track on this record.
I have written it's a pop banger, and I just don't like it.
Yeah, well, there you go. We're all allowed those glitz.
But I'm also not a massive fan of this disco sound in 90s pop. I like a lot of actual disco stuff. I don't really like this sort of cleaned up.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, but this is it distilled perfectly. This is where it works.
Okay.
I don't like it because it's so easy to do badly. I think this is it done well.
Right. Fair. Absolutely fair. And it is a catchy song. I give that. And this.
Come on. And then
Lulu coming in. Here we go.
Yeah, come on.
I do wonder if
this is great.
Lulu's record company must have thought, oh, brilliant, she's back. We can fucking pump out some cheesy pop, disco tinged, I'm sure, singles. We'll make some money. Yeah, her next single's got to like 44, 47. Yeah, nothing else. But no, not for me. I don't like it. Do not like it, weirdly.
Yeah, really like this one. Really like this one.
Fine. That was the third single, and that was also number 1, obviously, and it was everywhere. It was and I remember, again, in those kind of studenty clubs, that sort of whoosh as it comes in, the crescendo, the whoop. As soon as I heard that, it's like, oh, this fucking song again.
See, the thing is, I kind of remember dancing to this around that time as well. See, I don't think I ever really hated this song. I think I always quite liked this one.
All right. Fair dues.
And people call me the grumpy one on this podcast.
I know. Imagine.
Grumpy.
Don't know why that could be. All right. Well, look, that's kind of a third of the way through the album. So we shall take a break and look at the top 10 on albums. This week, we are looking at the week of October the 17th to 23rd, because this was only number 1 for 1 week. Meatloaf went back to number 1 for like 3 weeks after this as well. But yeah, we got 1 week. We'll look at the top 10, and then I've done sort of 3 weeks of other stuff that was released.
Sure.
Because we've only got one more album to come in this year, and then Meat Loaf goes back to number 1 again. So we've got a lot of kind of other things that were going on. Top 10, though. Prince, The Hits 2 at number 10. So we've seen that before. Yep. Number 9 is Belinda Carlisle with Real, which is, I've got marked as a new entry.
I mean, that's... God knows what she's doing in...
Well, at that point, I'm trying to think, was that when she did Lay Down Your Arms as a new single?
I'm trying to think, because the obviously there was the Heaven is a Place on Earth, which is what, around 1988?
88, I'd say, yeah.
And then we had the next album, which was the Circle in the Sand album, right?
Oh... Possibly, yeah. I mean, I think I've got that on now 12, so that's maybe 89, 90.
Oh, so maybe that's on the same record.
Oh, it might be.
I don't know.
But I don't remember new stuff coming out in general. No. But I do know that she had that Lay Down Your Arms track, which I quite enjoyed at the time, and that might have been in 93.
And the thing is, as well, that's the kind of act where she's not the big pop sensation, but she's got enough legacy fan base from having those hits in the 80s and also the Go-Go's that's going to probably sell her into the charts, and we may not necessarily be aware of it.
No, I bet you it was bigger in the States.
Quite possibly.
Yeah. But that's number 9 anyway. Number 8 is the Pet Shop Boys with Very, which was the last one that we looked at.
Yeah.
And thank you to everyone who got in contact, by the way, saying about that. I think I'd say most people were on the same page as us, but we did have some people who were like, nah, this is a great album.
Yeah, fair fucks to you, man. Yeah. It's always better to enjoy something than not. Absolutely. One of my catchphrases.
Absolutely. Number 7 is the Best of Go West.
Yeah.
So, all right, that happened. I don't remember that being a thing in 93.
Did you miss it? Maybe you closed your eyes?
Oh, that'll be it. Thanks. Yeah. Lovely. Number 6, People, Elegant Slumming.
I mean... Fair fucking play to your man from your man from People for having a pop at Liz Truss.
Yeah.
But also you are as bad as the Tories.
You've done as much damage to this country.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Just by releasing Elegant Slumming.
Exactly, man. You did it. You took the money.
Yeah.
You're fucking in bed, man. You're one of them.
I don't mean it. Moving on up to the world.
I don't mean it, but fucking hate them people.
Yeah. Number 5 is a new entry, the Lemonheads, Come On and Feel the Lemonheads, which we have talked kind of briefly about because we've seen some singles. And I think I saw that Evan Dando has just been on tour doing, maybe it's A Shame About Ray tour.
Right.
Still out there.
I thought someone said that they had a ticket for I thought I saw someone saying they had a ticket for the Lemonheads online the other day. So maybe the Lemonheads are together again.
Oh, maybe so. It could well be.
I couldn't give a shit one way or the other, if I'm honest.
Number 4 is Crowded House with Together Alone, which again is a new entry at that point. It's not like a best of a reissue.
So this is the follow-up to Woodface then?
Very possibly, I guess so. And maybe, is it Pineapple Head time, that sort of era? Or Nails in My Feet, that sort of era?
I was very briefly interested in Crowded House. Because my mate James had their record, and I liked Weather With You.
That's a great song.
That's a fucking great
really
song,
good
right?
Song.
And then again, it's just one of those things that was just so utterly uninteresting compared to Alice in Chains or Rage Against the Machine or any of the other stuff.
Oh yeah, no, it fell by the wayside.
Yeah.
But for bands who've got a brilliant best of greatest hits, they're one of the best. The Crowded House songs are fucking fantastic. Nails in My Feet, I think, is amazing. But even those mid-90s, Locked Out and Pineapple Head, I think those are really good songs.
Do you know what? I'd possibly know them if I heard them.
Oh, you would, because they were everywhere. They were huge. But yeah, they're good. Number 3 is Meat Loaf's Bad Out of Hell 2, Back Into Hell, which, as I said, goes back up to number 1 after this one. And number 2 is a new entry, and we nearly had to do this. I'll just play a wee bit of this under it, see when you get it. This is one that I bought at least week of release anyway, because I was like, oh, I have to have this, and then was a bit disappointed with it.
Turn up my earphones a little
bit. It's deliberately low because it crashes in.
Okay. I know that drum sound. It sounds like fucking Helmet.
All right, here we go. Follow up to a massive debut album, and in my eyes, I suspect.
Oh, it's it's fucking Pearl Jam's verses. Yeah, of course it is. It's Animal. Yeah,
go.
Yeah. I do you know? I never really. I've heard Animal, the album verses, the fucking album a few times.
Yeah.
Because it didn't grab me in the same way that 10 did.
Yeah.
they stopped being one of those first day bands for me.
Well, yeah, I think they deliberately moved away. They deliberately fucked with their sound.
Yeah,
to get away from that cachet they had.
And I don't know. The funny thing is, every time I revisit a Pearl Jam album, I find stuff in them.
You get it a bit more, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do not know most of the albums in their catalogue that they've released since 10 well. I certainly know nothing anywhere near as well as I know 10.
Of course.
But, I've had a Yield. I had I quite enjoy Yield. There's some really good stuff on Yield. And one of the more recent ones...
Vitalogy.
No, I never really liked Vitalogy. No. But yeah, No Code's a good album, and one of the most recent ones is named I've just completely forgotten. Right. I really enjoyed as well. So
I think that they have got 2 or 3 really good songs on all of those albums. But I think as albums, there's quite a lot of stodge.
Maybe. I mean, there's a lot of there's people that will violently disagree.
Oh, absolutely. I know for a fact.
And I know that when they were doing those big shows and they were just digging into the back catalogue and there was just I was looking at those set lists and it's like there's loads of songs here I don't know, and people were going, I fucking can't believe they've played this live. It's one of my favourites. Yeah. And I'm like,
happy days.
As a Tool fan and as those 2 Tool shows, I was just like, yeah, this is I get this, and maybe I should dig a little bit deeper and drop back in.
Absolutely. Fair play to them for not just doing 10 Mark II.
Yeah.
12, I guess.
12.
They didn't do it.
20?
20, maybe. Why not? Versus didn't do it for me. I was very keen to like it, because it was so different. I kind of very quickly went, all right, fine.
There are people that will tell you that that's a better album than 10.
Oh, there absolutely are. Yeah. So that's some people, that's their favourite Pearl Jam album.
But then there are also people that will tell you that they've got puppies in their car.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, there were no puppies in that car.
Yeah, you learn after 5 or 6 times, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so that's your top 10. There's a load of albums I'm going to quickly go through. Some more to say about than others, shall we say. But others released in the period of October 17th to November 13th. Mm-hmm. So almost 4 weeks, actually, of 1993. Sepultura released Chaos AD, which got to number 11.
Which is probably my favourite Sepultura
album. For me too. That's the first one I really heard of there, so it's got that place for me too. Mm-hmm. It's fucking banging.
Oh, it's phenomenal. I mean, there's some nonsense on that record.
Of course there is.
Biotech.
It's Godzilla, whatever.
Biotech. Yeah, carry on.
Saber's Paradise released Saber Sonic and got to number 29, which I think is a good album. Yeah. I think, again, it's a bit too dubby in places for me. Sure. But that's what they do, and they did it very well. People loved it. Tindersticks released their self-titled debut, only got number 56. And I remember them getting loads of press. Huge in the Enemy and Melody.
Where are they from?
Tindersticks, London, somewhere, I think.
Okay.
And they were kind of this almost Nick Cave gothy sort of thing, but with a bit more suede thrown in. It was that sort of era, and I never got into it. I couldn't find a hook for me.
Again, one of those bands I saw written about loads, because I'd dip into the Enemy here and there. That wasn't, that wasn't my source of information. I was more of a kind of a Kerrang person for my sins. But yeah, it was a band I was like, oh yeah, I've heard of them. I saw them on festival lineups, never really investigated.
Exactly, and they were all playing every single Camden venue in the world, that sort of shit, and people were loving it because he wore a suit and didn't just write sort of silly lyrics. It was a bit more poetry or some shit. Fine, whatever.
I think you need to hear about a little band called Menswear.
Oh, Menswear.
Only the band they could have been. Okay.
Rush released Counterparts, got to number 14. Don't remember that at all, because why would I ever listen to a Rush album?
Well, I mean, we're going to get complaints about that.
We certainly are. But, I went to a Rush concert once. I paid £85, I think, for a ticket in, 1999 or something. One of the worst things I've ever seen.
Yeah,
awful.
It's not for you.
It's really not for me.
I'm not, to be honest with you. I mean, I was in a band with 3 massive Rush fans.
True, yeah.
I never really, as much as I love prog rock and as much as they probably should be one of my favourite bands, I've never really got into Rush.
No.
They're just not, I don't know, I've just never really clicked with them. There's probably people listening to this that will stab me for it, but it's just not really.
Whatever.
There's only so much music you can consume, and I've consumed quite a bit.
Yeah, too much, some might say.
Some would say.
PJ Harvey released 4-track demos, got to number 19, which was kind of an in-between thing for that band. Transglobal Underground released Dream of 100 Nations.
Did they?
Yeah, you remember Transcool Underground?
I do. I remember because I did a split EP with an underground metal band called Grotus.
Oh, did they?
They certainly did.
Wow.
Mike Patton, and I only knew about Grotus because Mike Patton used to wear a Grotus t-shirt on stage.
Fucking hell.
Yeah,
I remember the single Templehead. It was like, it's still a good song, but it was like, oh, this is cool new dance stuff. Maybe this band is going to be really interesting. Nah. Here's one for you, though. Got to number 67, so only just making like the top 75. Carcass with Heartwork.
Oh, what a record that is.
Yeah, I know that's one of your
What a record
ones.
that is. I mean, look, fucking... The title track on that is just a blueprint in melodic death metal.
Right.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's one of my favourite metal songs. Carcass, medical students, massive musos, super technical stuff, loads of really gross out imagery.
Yeah.
I mean, they did an album with Scratch and Sniff Corpses.
Brilliant.
Right?
Well done.
Loads, like albums called things like Discanting the Insalubrious, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
The Thinking Man's Cannibal Corpse.
That's what we needed.
That's what we needed, but
Yeah.
I love it. I love the fact that they were all fucking bods and they were all just insanely good musicians, and this stuff was all just so beautifully put together, man.
Yeah.
I saw them a few years ago at Canham Underground, and it was just such a fucking great show.
Underground,
man.
fuck me.
They're such a good live band.
Wow. In Excess released Full Moon Dirty Hearts, only got to number 3. Yeah, don't remember that one bit.
I don't remember that at all. I'm quite glad we don't have to review it after the last one. Though.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing, because I didn't really remember the last one, and we had to do that as a number 1.
And it was not good.
Nah, so this is presumably even worse.
But I bet you there's at least one good single on it.
There'll be, sure.
I wonder what the singles on it are. I'm going to Google the singles.
Full Moon Dirty Hearts, look that up. In terms of other bands that we've had to do, or other acts that we've had to do in the past, and thankfully don't have to do again, Right Said Fred released Sex and Travel. Only got to number 35.
But you know what the root of that joke is, don't you?
What, Sex and Travel?
Instantly reminded my dad. It's one of the things he used to say to me.
Right.
He used to say, "Do you like sex and travel?" And I'd be, "Yes." Well, fuck off then. That's what that joke is.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay. Oh, God.
Do you like sex and travel? Well, fuck off.
Do you like Right Said Fred?
Well, fuck off.
That's definitely more up my street, that one.
Right, okay.
Oh, yeah, so in Excess, what were they doing?
I don't know any of these songs. Days of Rust, The Gift, Make Your Peace, Time, I'm Only Looking, Please, You Got That, Full Moon, Dirty Hearts, Freedom Deep, Kill the Pain, Cut Your Roses Down, The Messenger.
Not one.
Viking Juice.
Not Viking Juice.
Just a little aside as well. It turns out that Circling Sound was on the Heaven is a Place on Earth album.
Oh, okay. Cool. Right. Oh, nice one. Lovely. Chris Rea released Espresso Logic, which got to number 8.
Okay.
Again,
that's just 2 words he's put together.
It really is.
I'm almost certain that the place that he enjoys an espresso most is from a motorway service station to help him keep awake on a late night drive.
Absolutely. Tad released Inhaler.
Oh, yeah, of course they did.
Yeah, that was in that time. They were one of the ones that they were an also ran for me because I talked about loads, and all the people that I liked were referencing Tad.
Yeah, touring with they toured Europe with Nirvana,
all over the place.
My mate Grant had that album. I think he had a T-shirt as well.
Well, he would have done.
I don't really remember him.
I don't either, and it's probably something to do with the fact that I couldn't get their albums as easily as the rest of the stuff, and it fell by the wayside.
Yeah, I must have heard that album a lot of times, and I guess it's one of those things. If I put it on now, I'd be like, oh yeah, I remember this, but I never really personally engaged with it.
No, Eazy E, It's On (brackets Dr. Dre) 187
motherfucker. Do you know what? I was listening to that about a week ago.
What, on purpose?
Yeah, because I went, I'm going to go and listen to how it's a really bad record.
Yes, it is.
Do you know, interestingly though, when you go on Eazy Spotify, it's the main track off that, Real Motherfucking G's, that's the most listened to Eazy E song.
Is there some stuff that isn't available? Is that why?
No, all of Eazy Does It's on there.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I mean,
was it on a soundtrack or something?
I think it's because Real Motherfucking G's, it basically is a parody of the Ain't Nothing But a G thing.
Okay.
Lick,
it's like his response.
And it's his direct response to it. So I guess it's, which is sad actually, because Eazy in my mind shouldn't be thought of as a side product of Dr. Dre.
No.
Because, for me, and history rewrites itself here, but to me, when I was listening to NWA in like 1989, 1990,
yep.
it was Eazy E that I was most interested in hearing.
He was my favourite.
He was my fucking favourite by a long way. And
brilliant.
he was he was the cartoon gangster.
He was the comedy.
But he was also, when you look back, and he was also the only one in NWA that actually really was a bit of a street hustler.
He was living.
He was the gangster.
He was a nasty little shit.
Yeah. And and that's basically what the fucking song is. Real Motherfucking G's is him basically going, "You're just fucking studio gangsters."
See, right.
And there's some really nice little digs about them them just having to listen to everything that Suge Knight has to say.
Oh right.
And basically you will fucking do what you're told, don't you? Yeah.
Oh right. Okay. I'm still surprised it's the most listened to of his, though. Because he's got much better songs.
It's really not a very good song. And, the reason I was listening to it, funnily enough, is because I was just randomly, got some lyrics just stuck in my head, and I was like, I'm going to listen to Boys in the Hood.
Oh, yeah.
And because there's two good versions of Boys in the Hood. There's a remix, which is on Eazy Does It, and then there's the original version, which is on NWA and the Posse. Sure. Beep, boom, pff, beep, boom, pff, beep, boom, pff, that beach. Woke up quick at about noon, just thought that I had to be in Compton soon. Remember that?
No.
Gotta get drunk before the day begins, before my mother starts bitching about my friends. About to go when damn near went blind. Young boys on the street throwing up gang signs. That's Boys in the Hood.
I mean, I remember the overall song. I do not remember the lyrics.
I know I reckon I know probably every lyric on that Eazy E album. I listen to it so much, man.
Right.
I listened to it so fucking much. Anyway.
All right. Well,
not a good record though. He was unfortunately musically what he should have done when he left NWA is attached himself to a Puff Daddy or someone like that. Found another producer, I think he just went, I can fucking do this shit, and he couldn't.
Certainly not. Okay. Well, after that, I've got Crash Test Dummies with God Shuffled His Feet, which is never heard it in my life.
Oh, I have heard the whole album. Yeah, I got
right.
stuck in a car trip with someone that made me listen to it. It's fucking awful.
I don't know anything about the band apart from and that other one, the other single, whatever it was. And I know some people say that they are genuinely brilliant.
And those people are all incorrect.
I've never heard anything else.
It's fucking dog shit.
All right.
Turgid.
Weird voice as well. Bikini Kill released Pussy Whipped, their debut, which passed me by at the time.
Passed me by. There are Bikini Kill songs that I like. I've never listened to a whole album.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the Catherine Hanna documentary though.
Oh, I've not seen that.
That's good.
Yep.
If it's still on Netflix, give it a watch.
I will do that. Shaquille O'Neal released Shaq Diesel, his debut album.
Yeah, I mean, that stuff.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Did you? Oh, mate.
Because obviously he started off and he was doing stuff with like Fushnikins.
Yes, he was, yeah.
I mean,
I remember that.
It's
never looked anymore.
As Mad Skills once said, I've done NBA and NFL. I stopped that shit in 97 because that shit don't sell.
Yeah.
Fucking what a track Ghostwriter is by Mad Skills.
Incredible. Absolutely brilliant.
But yeah, no, it was awful. I can't remember any of it, but I remember hearing it and being like, oh wow, this is really, really fucking bad.
You are pissing on a legacy. Well, the last one I've got on here, and we decide how long you want to spend on this because we might do some sort of a end of year thing, is the Wu-Tang Clan with Enter the Wu-Tang, 36 Chambers. I'm
going to say not very much about this album.
Right.
We need to do something with this album.
Realistically, at the very least, we'll probably do an end of 93 hip-hop rundown.
Yeah.
And I would have thought that will be in a top 5 for you, especially.
The interesting thing is the year that it came out, it's not nailed on to be my number one record of the year.
Well, but so much 93 stuff that you love.
I fucking love it. This album's a fucking game changer for me, though. Okay. This is a near perfect record, and I'm not going to say much about it. If you don't know Enter the Wu-Tang by the Wu-Tang Clan, just go and listen to it because your life will be better if you do. That's all I've got to say.
That's all the albums I got. So let's go back into Take That. So track 5 we're at, and it's another single. It was the 6th and final single in July of 94, and it only got to number 3, so it broke the run of number 1s.
Okay.
But it's Love Ain't Here Anymore.
Okay, so this is what I think we can call the inevitable ballad.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's the first one we've heard, but it was always going to happen.
I'd forgotten that this one existed.
Oh, right. But as soon as you heard it, you were like, oh, yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Surely, yeah. Because this was everywhere. This was made, presumably, for that last song of the school disco.
Mm-hmm. I've literally got classic school disco slow dance written here. Yeah. Basically, loads of girls got fingered to this or shortly after it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Look, it's a...
Not hitting those notes.
No. He's just got that kind of weird... This is a dime a dozen kind of ballad track, isn't it? You've heard this song a million times before.
Oh, it's cliched central. It's absolutely cliche. But it hits all the right cliche notes for me, that's the thing.
And I think it's got a decent earworm chorus.
Yeah.
You know, love ain't here.
Absolutely.
Anymore.
Yeah. They've been listening to fucking Boys to Men or whatever. They're picking up some... and also this little... This kind of breakaway to go back in as well. Yeah. This works for me.
I think this is decent. I think it's exactly. I would never choose to listen to it.
No, and if I never do again, if I never hear it again, not a problem.
And I would rather hear it sung by a more vocally acrobatic group.
This is the thing, right? There are bits on here. I mean, I've already said he struggled to hit some of these high notes that he's going for. That didn't get there,
mate. There's an absolute note mangler of a key change at this at 250. Have you heard it?
I mean, I've noted that key change. I've also gone, there's a bit of 227 where he goes in and out of falsetto that doesn't work for me. So let's skip to that first. Let's see if I can find that. All right, hold on. All right, coming in here.
Oh,
dear. Don't do that. You can't do that.
No, that's awful.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's got that. And then, okay, so key change. When the key change is coming up, let's leave it going underneath us here.
But, I mean... Oh, that's bad. Hang on. What's that?
No.
What's that?
That is, again, that's something you can't do, Gary.
No, you can just edit that out.
Yeah.
That doesn't have to be in the... If you do that, you go... Have another one of them, please, Gaz.
Yeah, indeed.
Another one, please, Gaz.
Yeah.
What did the outtake sound like?
Fuck me. No, that you get away with that live because everyone's singing along with you, and the girls are screaming and swaying along, wishing that Mark would kiss them and all this sort of stuff. On an album, come on, man.
That's bad.
That's there forever. We're listening to that 30 years later,
and we've noticed it.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Weird.
40-second fade out.
Oh, this is the 40-second fade out.
This is the 40-second fade out.
Oh, right. Yeah. Nonsense.
Name of my sex tape.
Oh, lovely. I don't think that's a bad song at all. I think that's a very nice ballad. I think it's done well. I think the production is perfectly good. Mm-hmm. It fits the album, but it's just a little bit bland.
Oh, yes. It's very bland.
Yeah.
Okay, number 6.
Number 6.
If This Is Love.
So another non-single track.
Okay, keys.
Uh-huh. This is hidden right in the middle of the album for a non-single.
Okay, and we're going breakbeat.
Yep.
Right up front.
Yeah, absolutely.
And hang on, we're going to go... Terrible scratching.
Yeah, you are.
Okay, so this one's like a bit more low slung and a bit groovier than the others.
Yeah.
The drum machine is far too high in a mix.
Oh, I like the drums right up there.
But here we find out why Howard Donald didn't sing a lot of the songs.
Yeah. Well, this is the only song, I think, apart from Relight My Fire, which doesn't have a Gary Barlow writing credit on it at all on this album, because this was written by Howard Donald and some bloke called Dave James, who I looked into and has done nothing else of note.
This is an attempt at a kind of cooler, more of the minute track, I think. And I think if you put yourself in the early 90s, that's what this is. It's preposterously dated now.
It definitely is. You see, weirdly, I thought it sounded more like a late 80s tune to me. I didn't think it sounded particularly of the time, because it reminds me of Curiosity Killed the Cat, something like that,
Okay, I see where you're coming from. Yeah,
I'm okay with this. I think this is actually pretty decent.
Oh no, I don't like this.
I much prefer this to Having Changes.
The terrible falsetto that's being done there, and every time I heard this, I was just basically waiting for it to stop.
Really? Oh, no.
I think this is
okay.
one of the worst ones on the record.
Oh, wow. No, this is probably... where are we? There's 13. This would be top 5, probably, for me on this.
No. Not in agreement on you on that, on that one, I'm afraid.
No, I think this is decent R&B influenced, because it's got the big sort of hip-hop drum break thing. I think, there's a bit more of a
This feels like kind of... no, this just feels quite try-hardy to me.
Fine.
Yeah.
Maybe also Hard Donald, before he joined the band, he was like a DJ as well.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why there's like the scratching bits, and he's going for something
Listen,
a bit more. Oh yeah, but that's the whole way through this.
I know, but it's, that vocal is it's painful to hear. It's not bad sound. Listen to that. No. It makes my balls recess.
I see. I would have put this out as a single instead of Everything Changes.
Oh no, Everything Changes is much better than this.
I see. Right. Well, there you go.
No, I hate everything about that one.
Oh wow. Okay, so we're different on that. Fair enough. Next one then. Track number 7.
This one's called Whatever You Do to Me, and I've put in brackets is technically statutory rape.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no,
indeed.
Yeah.
This is I've put down. This is like Fisher Price Motown.
I've gone for a full Motown sound. Yeah, it really is. It's just horribly jaunty, more harping sax.
The weird thing is there's little touches of like the Communards and like Fine Young Cannibals in this, and some of the vocal presentation. So it's that kind of white boy soul, but smoothed down to the point of blandness and kind of novelty.
Oh, sure, yeah, and I don't mind a little bit of pop white boy soul at all.
No, we enjoyed the Simply Red album.
Indeed, we did. Fucking Wet 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 have a couple of late 80s bangers. Hue and Cry, that sort of stuff. And this is, you're right, it's going for that sort of feel on it, I think, but there's no tune to this at all.
No.
This
feels like it was designed so they could like do some theatre on stage with it.
Oh, maybe so.
Almost.
Yeah.
There's a lyric which just came past. It said, "Before you take away my dignity and pride."
Yeah.
Mate, we've seen the album cover.
Yeah, come on now.
We've seen the album cover.
Yeah, no thanks.
This is like if the Blues Brothers was done at a particularly low rent Pontins.
Oh, right, sure. I think this chorus is better than the verse by quite a long shot. This is catchy, but it's like it was written as a stage musical of for a high school.
I mean, it's got enormous sax appeal.
There is more sax, and there's also a bit. Oh, it's coming up where he goes full on falsetto, and a big mistake. I don't think it's a good idea at all. But right, hold on, let's find this bit.
Oh no, there is that lyric. Yeah,
Jesus.
Yeah,
Christ.
this is where I put down Communards.
Oh right, sure. Yeah. But yeah, Jimmy Somerville does. He can do that.
I mean, yeah, but that's within Jimmy's. That's
what he does.
Actually, within his full range, isn't it?
Yeah, this is taking the piss.
This is bad. Yeah.
And the idea is whatever you do to me. So the idea is like karma will catch up with you at some point. If you break my heart, someone's going to do that to you as well. So if you're a dick to someone, then someone's going to be a bit dick to you. Or it could be about pegging.
It could be about that. It could be.
Sure.
It could definitely be about pegging.
Yeah.
But yeah, look. I mean, I'm not surprised when I'm looking at this. It's a 13-track album.
Yeah.
This is track 7. It's a classic. Bury it in the middle.
Oh,
filler
it really
track.
is. If someone said to me, "What do you reckon track 7's like?" I go, "I bet it's a bit of nothing."
Yeah.
But there is like here's the saxophone bit coming up, because I do love a bit of ridiculous sax. Oh man, that's stupid as hell. I love it. Yeah, no, great. Overall nonsense, but that 5 seconds.
Yeah,
I'll give it that.
Yeah, I enjoy that 5 seconds as well.
Yeah,
let's loop it and make a whole song from it.
Yeah, quite.
Right, track 8.
Okay.
Meaning of Love. All right, it's another heavily disco-inspired plodder.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, the chart dance it is the safety of that early 90s drum machine that takes no effort. You hit a button and this is what it produces. And it takes no effort to listen to it because it's so fucking weak.
Well, it does take an effort to listen to it.
Yeah,
I mean, I've just put non-event.
No.
The thing is, these songs live or die by You know, even if they're non-events here, if they've got a big chorus, that can pull it out.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
Chorus here is dull as dishwater.
Yeah.
This is pure filler. This is Botox.
Yeah, if you took the vocals off this and it wasn't Gary Barlow, this could be 100 different acts of the 90s.
This is a bed music for Smooth FM.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
This is as generic as it can be. It's so that people don't notice it in the background. This is faceless wallpaper shit.
You're not even trying, man. I've got nothing else to say about this. It's just dog shit.
The only thing I noticed, and I don't know why it does this, because this is just nonsense. What is the meaning of love? The lyric, though, that we just passed is, I thought I knew the meaning of love. Now I am asking you why I thought I knew the meaning of love. Now, open wide. Pardon?
Well,
that's a little bit out of nowhere. What
were they opening?
I don't know. But whatever it is, it was unexpected.
Yeah, well, I mean, much like Gary Barlow's tax return.
Yes, indeed.
Right, okay.
All right, well, that's the third of the album.
I mean, I've got to say...
Disappointing.
If the highlight of it is Love Ain't Here Anymore...
Yeah.
And for me, I know maybe not for you, but for me, that very much was the highlight of it. I was hoping for a little more, I think.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that slumped in the middle there. Yeah. Even though I think that Love Ain't Here Anymore is okay, and I think that Hard Donald one, Is This Love, I actually like that. You didn't, but
I did not.
It's not hitting any peaks of the rest of the album here.
Sure. Okay, well, let's move on then, and let's do our singles.
Singles of the week, October 17th to 23rd. Number 10, Dina Carroll, Don't Be a Stranger, which we have seen already. Number 9 is Had Away with Life, which we've done. Number 8, though, is a new entry. So let's give this a go.
Okay, that's, I've got this and I've listened to this so many times. It'll come to me in a second.
Yep.
Oh, it's Prodigy.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, no, stop. No, yeah, no good. Stop dance.
No,
hang on, no.
No, I think this was the first single released off that album.
Oh, it's what's it fucking called? The first track is called. No.
Banging. Have it.
Fucking tune, man.
Fucking slam you.
What is this fucking track called? It's really bugging me.
Oh.
What is this fucking track called? One Love.
One Love.
Oh, that's it.
There you are, man. Yes.
I don't think I ever knew this was a single.
This was the first single, I think. And I remember...
It's a strange choice of a first single.
It really is, but I suspect they did it because it sounds more like the old Prodigy stuff, and everything else they were putting out sounded different.
Because you got this kind of...
this is still ravey.
Yeah.
As soon as they were into... Well, No Good is more of that, but as soon as they were then into the other big singles, it's like, oh, this is harder, darker sound. But this sounds more like experience stuff to me.
I love this record, man. I think... Where are you on terms of your favourite Prodigy album?
Prodigy, it's easily Children's Generation.
Yeah, same as
that. Without any having to think about it at all. Yeah, brilliant. And I think it's going to be one of the ones we do in 94.
I would have thought so.
I suspect it was number 1. Okay, that was number 8. Number 7 is this one, and it's a bit generic, but see if you get it.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Is it Snap?
Nope.
No, it's, but it very much could be.
Exactly.
Which Euro dance shit is
exactly. Which particular brand are we looking at here?
Is it Dr. Alban?
No,
it's not. I know it's not. God, I won't even...
I'll tell you what, because you'd never get the name. I'll tell you, it's called You, as in the letter U, got to, number 2, Let the Music.
No, I don't think I've ever heard this. But I have heard it.
Oh, you will have
know what I mean?
Capella. This is one of the Capella tunes. Number 7, this is. No, fine. Number 6, hanging around from last week, is Shakademus and Pliers with She Don't Let Nobody. Still terrible.
She Don't Let Nobody.
Yep. Number 5, People, moving on up, which I think we've discussed already.
With the focus on the word discussed.
Well, there you are. Number 4, Eternal Stay, which we have discussed as well. All the rest of the top 10. DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, Boom Shake the Room. Number 2, Take That and Lulu with Relight My Fire. And then number 1 is Meatloaf's I'd Do Anything for Love.
Yeah.
So that's your top 10. There's a couple of new ones at the bottom end, but that's it. But let's look at 4 weeks worth of other shit, right?
Yeah, man.
So this one, I don't know if I would get this, but I suspect you will. Got to number 14, this one.
I want to call, but I don't know. She's a peach. She was dark. She was tan. She made me.
I mean, it sounds like Billy Idol, but it's what is it?
One of your favourite artists.
What is it?
Prince.
I don't fucking remember this.
This is called Peach. And it's from one of those kind of hits, B-sides albums. That they put out.
I've probably heard this. I've struck it from my mind.
She's a peach. Yeah, no, I do. I remember it from the time, but
It doesn't sound like Prince to me. I can if I'm straining to hear it.
Then you pick out. Okay, yeah,
I don't remember that song.
All right, another one that came out, and this one I definitely would get. This was big at the time. I think it was in an ad as well.
Oh, this is Freak Power.
Yes, it is.
Tune in, drop out, whatever it's called.
That one.
Yeah.
Turn on, tune in, cop out.
Yeah.
Yes. Another of the Norman Cook
Yeah.
various projects around that time. Only got to number 29. In my head, I was like, this is top 10.
This was a number one. This was re-released. It was
must
number
have
one.
been re-released the next
This was
year,
a number
then.
one single.
Ah,
It was on a Levi's advert.
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
That this was the first release, and then it hit an ad. Right, fine. So Freak Power there anyway. Another one here. This one got to number 12.
Bjork.
Yes.
With what's it called? That's that one.
That is that one. I mean, that's quite a lot of hers, but yes, it's that one.
I know.
It's Bjork and someone else.
It's David Arnold.
Yeah, there you go.
It's called Stay.
Oh, you're so close.
Alone.
It's not Stay.
Pardon?
It's not Stay.
Say.
No, it's not Say. Does rhyme with that though.
Play games.
Play.
No. Play. I can't. What's it called? Play. Not play games. Play. Mailing. What is it fucking called? What's it? Play
Dead.
Play Dead. Fuck.
There you
life.
go.
There you go.
Play Dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. And I thought that was a great tune.
Yeah. I don't mind that one at all. Yeah.
One of those ones before I really took against Bjork for being just deliberately annoying.
Yeah.
But I suspect a lot of that is because it's a David Arnold tune. He's Luton Boy as well, isn't he?
He is.
David Arnold.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the ones that you can actually talk about with pride.
Did a lot of Bond.
He did, absolutely. Okay, so that was out, got number 12. One I'm not going to play. Lisa Stansfield with So Natural, got to number 15.
Yeah.
Fine. So this one got to number 23, yes.
Stop still.
No, but
It's Muggs.
It's a Muggs production.
Is it House of Pain?
Yes.
Is it When It's Time to Rock a Funky Jam?
Oh no,
I'm
it's
the
not.
Man.
That was later. That's like 94.
What is it?
That's not.
Hang
That's
on.
on point.
Wait. Nice horror. Still down and read the menorah. Yeah, there you go.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah. It's put on your shit kickers.
No.
Are you a lady? Bet on Marsha Brady.
This is. I can always see it coming back into your brain here.
Knowing, is in the knowing. Pleasure. I'm every woman's treasure. So let me do my job.
Oh man.
Oh, it's
How do you know all these lyrics 30 years down?
Is it Shamrocks and Shenanigans?
Yes, it
there
is.
You go.
There you go, mate. Shamrocks and Shenanigans. Yes. Indeed, yeah. Oh, fine malt lyrics. And I think this is. I think I bought this 12-inch, but only because it's got
Jump around.
Jump Around on the B-side. And I didn't have
I
it.
mean, that's exactly what I'd have done if I was trying to sell the 12-inch.
Exactly. It worked very well. Yeah, I imagine that's why this got to number 23. It's all right. It's fine. It's good fun.
They're all rubbish.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they're cartoon nonsense, but there's somewhere. On point is like the one you were saying.
Yeah.
I think that's fucking brilliant.
Everlast never really. Just neither of them had a flow. They were always like
Yeah. Mind you, still 100 miles better than anything he put out solo, that terrible guitar country stuff he did.
Do you know, there are some people that have really got a soft spot for a load of that whitey blue stuff. Do you know that?
Sure. But those people probably also like Uncle Cracker.
Yeah. You must have heard the story, but there was a weird thing when we used to go car boot sale vinyl shopping.
Yeah.
I stayed around my friend Drew's house, and I woke up and I had a really fucking weird dream last night. And I had a dream there was a hip hop track in it that had My Sharona sample in it.
Yeah.
I literally got witnesses for this. I said that. And then we went out record shopping, and I found an Everlast 12-inch from when he was on Rhyme Syndicate that I'd never heard before. Tommy Boy Records, called "I've Got the Knack," and it's a terrible track, but it samples My Sharona.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Well.
What a coincidence!
There you go. I suppose it's tricky as well. Run DMC is a My Sharona sample as well, so maybe that was your dream was inspired by that.
Do you know what? I fucking never realised that was the case.
But
I've never thought about it.
It's tricky to rock around.
Of course, it fucking is.
Yeah.
Mate, that is a revelation to me. I'd never, ever in my brain put
all
those
right,
two
but
things
it
together.
might have snuck in there subconsciously.
Maybe.
Right.
Wow.
There you go. This one got to number 36, and I suspect you'll get this.
Yep. This is Bury Me Softly. Bury Me Softly. Oh, I wanna be. It's Alice in Chains, obviously.
Alice in Chains, yes.
And it's I wanna be inside you. I'm just trying to remember what the fucking track's called. What the actual name of it is. Down in a Hole.
Down in a Hole. Yes, mate. There you go. Indeed, yes.
Yeah, we are at the 30-year anniversary of this record.
Of Dirt, yeah.
The vinyl's just been reissued. I'll probably buy it.
Has it? Oh, they got vinyl out of it?
Yes.
Is it stupid money?
I mean, I think it's a nice addition, but yeah. I'll buy it probably.
Fair play.
I did get Quicksand Manic Compression on vinyl when I was at the show in America.
Oh, lovely.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah, he's very happy, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and just in case Dave hasn't mentioned it in the intro, one of the reasons he was away for so long was he went to America, and one of the gigs he saw was, please, Dave?
Helmet, Quicksand, Quicksand, Helmet, and Clutch.
Fucking
It was
ridiculous.
a fucking great gig.
Imagine that as a
great
lineup.
gig.
Yeah.
That new Clutch album is very good.
Yeah, fair play. All right, so that's Alice in Chains. That got to number 36. I'm not going to even play this because there's no point. Got to number 38, Wasp with Sunset and Babylon.
I don't care.
Nah, whatever. And got number 49, Spiritualize with Electric Mainline.
Mm-hmm.
This one, though, you'll have heard this in indie clubs and you'll have hated it, I would imagine. Got number 22. I mean, if you're not getting it from that, maybe...
I don't
maybe you
ever
won't.
remember hearing this before.
Oh, okay. It's called This Garden.
No. Who's it by?
Man, I'm just trying to think. Will you get it from this
I
instrumentation?
don't mind that. I think that's I quite like that.
I think it's a good song, but I don't mind some of the other stuff as well.
It was never this brand of indie that I particularly disliked. Oh.
Oh, well, yeah. It's the Levelers.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you are.
I mean, that vocal I don't care for.
Sure.
As soon as there was a didgeridoo, I should have said it was the Levelers.
It's
Just fucking added that level of homelessness to it.
I think that's a decent song. I really like the chorus on that, Levelers This Garden. Not being a massive Levelers fan at all, but I do like that one. And actually, I recently, like last week, I found out, because I was listening to some other 90s podcast.
What?
I know, there's another one.
You
Apparently.
were cheating on us.
I was. And I listened to it, and there was a guy with a Northern Irish accent on it. I was going, what the fuck? What?
Hang on.
Not having this. But it turns out, the guy with the Northern Irish accent, he's called Dan Donnelly, and he was in a band called Watercress, who were from Belfast, at the kind of the end of the 90s. And my mate from school, Bruce Reid, was in that band as well, so I knew Watercress. But this guy, Dan Donnelly, who's now presenting whatever podcast that was, he did a stint playing in the Wonder Stuff and is now a fully fledged member of the Levelers.
Wow.
So yeah, there's a link that I never knew I would have.
I mean, Dan Donnelly is it's a real tongue twister of a name, isn't it? It's
Dan
a
Donnelly.
real kind of rhythmically.
Dan Donnelly.
Dan Donnelly.
Dan Donnelly. Dan Donnelly.
Well, do you want to come? Dan Donnelly.
Yeah.
Sounds like an affirmation.
Yeah. So there you go. That's my bit of news that I found out this week.
Oh, there you go.
Here's a new one for you. Banger, this one. But do you remember which one this is?
Yeah, this is Obviously, it's Aerosmith and it's
Aerosmith.
Crazy.
No, it's the other one.
Oh, hang on, is it?
Got to number 17, this one.
Falling.
No.
No, what's it called? Crazy and...
Oh, a friend of mine.
Oh, what is... I'm just trying to get to the fucking chorus in my brain.
Yeah. Oh,
I just can't get there.
It's gonna,
Can't get there.
Here we go. Bam, bam, bam.
I was there crying.
Crying.
Yep.
Crying, indeed.
Now I'm dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like these tunes, man.
Oh, mate, this is a classic. Number 61, Honky released the Honky Doodle Day EP. And I remember being quite interested in Honky when they came out. And then...
Yeah. I mean, I had a Honky 12-inch and it was rubbish.
Right. I've got a couple. I think I still might have a couple. And one of them is dead good. I think it samples like Ian Jury and it's got a good little beat to it. But...
Yeah, one of the things that I remember hearing saying and being, oh yeah, it sounds good. So I picked up a 12-inch because I saw it cheap and I was like, oh no, this wasn't the track to get.
Oh yeah, no, they were
really
always
bad.
in the 99p bin afterwards.
Yeah.
Right, this one, though, we've talked about the album.
This is Faith No More and Booyah Tribe, just another body murdered.
Yes, it is.
Another body murder, sorry.
From the Judgment Night soundtrack. And yeah, now, we've talked about this elsewhere. This is fucking stunning. Absolutely brilliant. I think listener of the podcast, Niall Bakewell, was like, you should do a special on that album. I was like, no, we probably could.
I wish we did.
I know, but just...
Hang on.
Now I gotta murder to get away. Your eyes got them peeled, now the fool gotta stay. And if they playing, then they paying with their life. A man trying to hold on to the knife.
Exactly. You almost turned Samoan there. It was just frightening to see.
Look, man, I've been on a holiday to America. I ate a lot of hot dogs. Fuck you, cunt.
The Breeders released Divine Hammer. It only got to number 59, but that is a great single.
Don't remember it.
The thing is, it never really got played in the clubs that you would have been going to because Cannonball was still getting played.
Yeah.
You know, it was one of those that just didn't... It passed by.
I mean, Cannonball's still being played in those clubs.
Totally, yeah. This one got to number 13, and I must admit, I never really liked this, and it was fucking massive, and everyone else liked it.
But it could be nearly anything at this moment.
Oh, I see. Oh, you see, no, to me...
Open Up by Left Field, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I love Leftism. I think Leftism is an almost perfect album.
Oh, right, okay.
And this is the track I probably like the least on this record.
I see.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, no, I don't get the whole thing about this. Part of my disdain for it was, I'm not a big fan of John Lydon in general. I think he's a bit of a dickhead.
Yeah.
But I remember whenever this came out, and he's got that Burn Hollywood Burn refrain.
Yeah.
He does. And all the papers were saying, oh, that's a brilliant, such a good thing. Yeah. Fuck Hollywood. And it's like, Public Enemy did this 2 years ago. They have a song called Burn Hollywood Burn. This isn't him. This is him just fucking lifting something. So I must admit, I probably took against it for that reason as well.
Sure, but yeah, I like that track enough. There's a lot of remixes of it, and a couple of the remixes are better.
Oh, okay.
Leftism, fucking, I don't suppose we'll have to do that, will we?
No.
I love that record.
No, it's already
so
been, I think.
much. Is it really?
Oh no, maybe it's coming up, but no, it was never number one.
That's a brilliant record. Probably, I'd imagine they lean a little bit too much into the dub for you.
It is, yeah.
But
exactly.
I've got a big soft spot for that record. If I ever got round to putting my favourite records into a proper list, it would be somewhere in the top 20.
Damn.
Yeah, I love that record.
Okay, fair play.
Almost perfect record.
Shit, right, okay. Right, the last one, though, I've got, and we've talked a little bit about this as well already, because we almost had to do the album. But yeah, you must recognise this from indie clubs and just general radio play since the day.
Yeah, it's doom, doom. Yeah, I know what this song is. My brain is not really firing well today. It's She Wears Something or Other. Or hang on, what's it called?
No.
So pretty. I know this fucking. I know.
Oh, it was played all the time.
Any other fucking day, I'll tell you exactly what this is. It's one of those bands that I don't listen to. It's like it's like the Wonder Stuff or one of those bands, but it's not.
No,
the Wonder Stuff.
But it's one of those ones that you said whenever they played.
Oh, is it hang on, is this James?
Yes, it is.
Oh, it says, I do like this song a lot, man.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called.
It's called Laid. So it's the title track off that album.
Yeah, I've got no problem
Fucking
with
love
this song
it.
at all.
Absolutely
Actually, I do like that song.
Yeah, I think it's wonderful. And yeah, we almost had to do the album, but we didn't. So there you go. We did have a lovely email from one of the listeners from Andres. I'm probably pronouncing that very wrong. Andres Provost.
Andreas?
He sent us an email basically saying...
Sorry for mangling your name, dude.
And also sorry for saying how much we didn't like Pet Shop Boys, which is why he emailed.
Yeah.
He loves it. He's one of the ones that said he loved it, but he said at least we can agree that James Laid is a fantastic album, because we talked about that on the episode, and it's just wonderful.
Yeah, no, I do like that song, man.
It's brilliant. I think it's brilliant. All right, well, look, that's all your singles. I think there's a load of big fucking singles in there.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, that's a big end of 93.
We're in a good point of
this is fertile.
Right now,
yeah, it really is. But with that said, let's finish off. Take That. We're back in with track number 9, which is Why Can't I Wake Up With You?
And this was the first single, wasn't it?
This was. It was released in February 93, and it only got to number 2.
So this is a slow jam with a swing beat inflection.
Very much the swing, that hip-hop R&B swing beat behind it. It's much beefier production.
Yeah.
And this has actually got some proper hip-hop samples in it as well. There's a piano lick from The Bottle by Gil Scott-Heron.
Yeah.
The drum beat and the horn stab that is all the way through is from MC Light Tune. There's a bit of a James Brown Funky President drum beat going through as well. It's just like it's got all those elements to it.
Yeah, I mean, if you do that bit, that's very much Sensitivity by Ralph Tresvant as well.
Okay, sure.
I mean, 5 very white lads, borrowing from New Jack Swing. These do not seem like hip-hoppers to me at all.
No.
Also, what this also reminds me of is Remember the Time by Michael Jackson.
Oh, shit, it really does. Now you said it. Yes, it does. Absolutely. Very much that feel to it. Yeah.
This part is all quite low-slung, inoffensive. And again, I would say the chorus here is a prime example of the chorus elevating the track.
Okay, yep.
Because I think it's a good, well put together chorus. I think they deserve so many points for resisting the temptation to put a rap in it.
Oh, right.
Because that Robbie was like...
Robbie was begging for it, wasn't he?
I'll do the rap.
Oh, my God.
Lads, I'll do the rap. I'll put this hat on. I'll do the rap.
Yeah, shit.
Rude box. Do the rude box.
Oh, mate.
Why are you so nasty?
Everyone else was doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Look,
true.
This isn't bad.
I think it's a good song. I like this.
What I hear on this song, again, is very much like the other one, where I'm like, I think there's a better version of this song that somebody else does.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I think...
Well, that's quite interesting, because this is a new version of an old song of theirs. Right. They did a version of this on the first album, which is very, very different.
Okay.
And this is a much better version than that.
Okay.
But you're absolutely right that there probably is a better version out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is... You give this to,
Boys to Men.
Yeah, Boys to Men, or, or just, or Another Level.
What's this bit here?
Oh, no, that's not good.
Don't do that.
Oh, that's really bad.
Yeah, that's gone wrong. No, overall, I think this is well done. I'll play a snippet of the original version just so you can see how fucking different it is, because I would have... It's one of those ones that if you'd played me the original version, I wouldn't have spotted that there was a tune in there to do something with. That's a skill in itself. Yeah, so this was a track on the first album, Take That and Party. This is Why Can't I Wake Up With You on that album. And yeah, for me, I don't even see anything in it that you go, with a remix this could be alright. But yeah, someone spotted it. But then again, I wouldn't have spotted if you'd played me the original Barry Manilow version of Could It Be Magic. I wouldn't have gone, stick a drum beat behind that. That's a pop hit, and it was. So yeah, I
quite like this.
Oh right, well this is the original. Yeah, very different. Yeah. There you go. No,
Right,
I think the 93 version, I think that's a very good song. I really like it.
I think it's decent enough. I'm not going to shit on it. I don't love it. It's better than everything of the last 3 tracks we listened to.
Oh yeah, no, okay, fair enough. All right, well we're now at track number
10.
So You Are the One, and this is another non-single, and it's at track 10. So instantly I was like, can this be any good?
So we've got strings and keys, right?
Yeah.
And all I'm going to say to you, if your strings sound like Papa Don't Preach, then bring your fucking A game.
Oh, okay, right.
And this ain't it.
I think this is awful. This is the worst one so far for me.
For me, the only bit of this song that I don't mind is the bridge.
Okay.
Chorus overly busy, very uninspired. This bit is just fucking lame.
There's, like you say, it's busy. There's so much going on. It's really pumped up, and it's got some really terrible synth sounds over a too fast beat.
See, this is the only bit that I don't mind, and it goes rubbish.
This is
He's doing
horrible.
some weird, like, kind of Suedo Pete Burns vocals in places as well.
That phasing shit, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got some pace, but it's boring, and it just doesn't know what it is.
No, I think it's fucking dreadful. I would burn this off the album.
Okay, see, it's interesting because this one doesn't offend me like some of the other ones do, but I'm just like, it's just a mess.
I see. All right, now this really, really rankled me. I thought it was awful. And it might be because it's, fucking hell, we're at track 10 and we're still going, and now I have to listen to this. It might be that, but
yeah,
because
this isn't a long album, but it did drag a bit.
Yeah. I don't know why they decided there need to be 13 tracks.
No,
It's
fucking 18 on the re-release.
yes,
Anyway, let's
pointless.
get rid of this.
Yeah, fine.
Track 11 is called Another Crack in My Heart. And let's just say, what this is good for is the... if you guys have never played the game where you transport the word heart for arse, this is an absolute game.
No,
winner for
exactly.
that.
I've got the very first line of mine. It's the perfect song for the love heart arse game. Basically, if a song title... or band name or whatever has got the word love or heart in it, put arse in instead and see what you can come up with.
And we have had so many hours around campfires.
20 years of
20
this,
years of having... And that tells you, if you ever wondered, how puerile are these guys, right? For 20 years, we have enjoyed
the
this.
clips of the arse. Yeah, that works. Fair play. Yeah, exactly.
And the good thing is, because every time we play it, we're fucking shit-faced drunk. It means the next time you play it, you've forgotten half of the ones you come up with.
Don't go breaking my arse. Brilliant. Well done.
Yeah, there we
but
go.
no, this was almost like designed for
another
that game.
crack in my arse.
Amazing.
Can you imagine?
Fucking brilliant.
Right, let's hear it.
Yeah, but can it live up to that?
No, it can't.
Oh, okay.
I tell you what, though, this song, right, not here,
Right.
but this really sounds like something else, and I wonder if you've got the same note.
Oh, I've said it reminds me of an 80s tune, but I don't know what it is.
Listen, it's here we go. Hang on. It's just after this little piano when he goes. It's Human Nature by Michael Jackson.
That's fucking what it is. I was like, I thought either Michael McDonald or Mr. Mister, but it is. It's Human Nature.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right.
It took me ages to get it as well.
But yeah, I was struggling.
Yeah.
So like, this is something. This is definitely
it's
something. Right. Yeah. Okay. And this is the first song that we've seen go over 4 minutes on this album, which again, fair play to them, because I suspect the temptation was to do another chorus and a load of them.
So look, once I kind of managed the human expectation part, right? There's that, and we get into this bridge which is happening now.
Yep.
And at this point, I'm not expecting an enormous amount, but
Yeah.
I do like this chorus.
This is great. This chorus is one of the best choruses on here.
The fucking
really
cadence of this, the way it fucking runs.
Yep.
To tell you what it reminds me a little bit of.
Go on.
A little bit of Kaylee by...
Oh, that's the other one that definitely is
yeah.
right. Fucking hell.
Yeah,
Right.
Marillion.
Yes. That's exactly what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, no,
This
this
is
one, I
terrific,
wasn't
yeah.
expecting anything. Track 11, non-single track, back at the end of the album. Wasn't expecting much of this. This is one of the best tracks on the record.
It really is. No, I absolutely agree. I think this is terrific. That chorus especially.
Yeah.
But because of the chorus, I actually I'm fine with the slower build on the verse, because it does get into that.
Yeah.
It makes you appreciate that. And I'm happy with this being over 4 minutes because there's more of that. No, I really like this. Weirdly, right, in terms of production people on the album, there's a variety of different ones. 2 of the songs are produced by the Rapino brothers, who did one of the remixes for Could It Be Magic as well, I think.
Okay.
The Rapino mix. This is one of them, but the other one is the last one, which I thought was one of the worst songs on here.
Yeah.
And it's just such a difference in sound. I thought they would have had a sound, but no, they've actually
there you go.
done this. I think
You'd
it's
have thought Rapine yes, but Rapine no.
No, well, quite. I did think, because as well, I read Rapino, and for some reason I read it somewhere, and it was all in block capitals, and the O at the end looked like a G, and I was like, the Raping Brothers? It's like, what? It's like, oh no. Yeah, that's a oops.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But no, it's just terrific, this chorus. One of the best bits.
Excellent. Right.
Really like that.
Nothing much else to say about that.
Pleasant surprise. Number 11 there.
So track 12 is called Broken Your Heart.
Okay.
Another one for the heart ask game.
Exactly is. Yeah. Yep.
And this one is just another one of these fucking disco stompers. I'm surprised at how dull these are. Absolute rubbish.
This is awful.
Absolute rubbish.
I would skip this every time.
Yeah. This is rubbish. There's no reason in this world this should have been included, and this should have been 13 rather than 12 tracks.
No, absolutely not.
Listen to these fucking awfully deployed samples and
rubbish.
Can we just skip this and say nothing else about it? What I like to think is that someone somewhere has been waiting for us to review this album. That's their favourite song ever.
Oh, no.
And they're waiting to hear what we've got to say. We're just like, get rid of it.
Sorry, John in Leeds.
If that is your favourite song, let us know. Anyway, so track 13 is
last track on the album.
So this is the one where they let little Marky Owen loose. Little Mark. This one's called Babe.
And we finished. This is the longest song by quite some way. It's nearly 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
This was the 4th single in December 93, and this got to number 1.
I mean, here's the phone. That was a trope, wasn't it?
Well, yeah.
Rubbish.
Yeah. It's got to number 1 in December 93, but it didn't get the Christmas number 1 because Mr. Blobby knocked it off.
Yeah, well, there we go.
Yeah. But yeah, Mark Owen's first headline slot on the vocals, and they are putting a lot of pressure on him to bring this drama.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to me, Mark Owen doesn't scream drama, and it doesn't have that gravitas voice, but they've gone for it.
But the thing about this song, right? This is an insipid little love song, right?
Right.
And it swells and it soars, and when I take a step back from it, it's objectively bad.
Okay.
But for some reason, I really like this song.
I think this is decent. I think it's a good tune.
And the rock guitar...
Very catchy.
The rock guitar that comes out of nowhere, utterly incongruous to the track.
But...
Right? Yeah. But... and do you know what that guitar reminds me of?
Go on.
You know the breakdown in Welcome Home by Coheed and Cambria?
One of the best breakdowns.
Yeah. I mean...
Oh well, maybe they were inspired. The thing is, right? This is long and melodrama,
languid. Yeah.
But we did Meatloaf recently.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with a big long song with kind of a mawkish storyline and a really stupid lyric message. So I'm fine with that because this is Mark Owen. He's revisiting an old flame. Yeah. He turns up on her doorstep unannounced, which frankly, don't do that, man.
Oh, it was the 90s. It was.
But he didn't. Yeah,
he
didn't even phone ahead because it turns out he's got her number. He's just turned up on the doorstep.
Right.
There's some bloke answers the door. It's not her. He says, "No, she doesn't live here anymore." So he rings her and goes round. So he did have the number. And here we go.
So she'd taken the number with her to the new place.
Yeah, that was not easy in '93 as well.
Man,
yeah.
Fair enough.
So she's moved house without telling him. And he turns up and he sees her, and just underneath, here we go. Oh no, it's coming the next verse, isn't it? Anyway, essentially, he sees a little boy, and the line is, and he's got my eyes. And so it's like, oh,
that's terrifying.
Fucking terrible.
How'd you get them?
Yeah. As an aside, I have been so polluted by body count that anytime I do hear someone saying "my eyes," I just hear Ice-T going, "Bitch!" Which, let's face it, might have added something to this song as well. But yeah, so this woman has moved house, had his son, and not told him. He's turned up on the doorstep. I think he's in the wrong on this. She is getting away from him.
He's done something.
Yeah. She doesn't want him to know.
She doesn't want her son to be...
Oh, here we go. He's going to sing.
Bitch!
Oh.
Here.
There you go. Oh, but the guitar's starting to come in.
At the woman's refuge.
yeah, honestly.
I've tracked you down.
Yeah.
Dave, I know where you are.
Fuck's sake.
I've got a photograph of you tattooed on my ass.
But yeah, still a good song.
Go on.
It's a... Oh, we went full on Beavis and Butthead there as well. Fuck's sake. But it's a well-written little weird pop song.
Yeah.
Again, Mark doesn't have the pipes for this.
No,
But then none of them do.
none of them do.
No.
But you know what, man? This is pulled off. I like this one. This is... there's 3 on this album that I like particularly, and I guess we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
But anyway, I really like that.
The only other thing that's made me think of, because it's essentially the same storyline but from the other side, is Heart's All I Want to Do Is Make Love to You,
Yeah.
where she goes out and bangs some bloke,
Yeah.
has his kid, and then pumps into him on the street.
Doesn't hand over her phone number though.
Doesn't. Absolutely not.
Does
no.
not.
It makes it very clear that she wants nothing else to do with him. She just wanted his sperm. Yeah. Well, in fact, they said the lyrics are, then it happened one day, we came round the same way. You can imagine his surprise when he saw his own eyes. You know, it's the same thing there. But it's also got the lines, and you know, God bless Hart for actually singing these and put these on record. Yeah. We made magic that night. He did everything right. He brought the woman in me so many times, easily.
Yeah, easily.
Oh, that's just makes
Easy
me
E.
cringe. And I told him, I am the flower, you are the seed. We walked in the garden, we planted a tree. Oh, well, there's poetry.
Yeah. I mean, that's poetry.
Sex. It doesn't get much sexier
If that
than
isn't poetry, then my name isn't David Robert Phillips.
Yes, quite. Just as a total aside,
Right.
in terms of take that, I do remember the first time I saw the name of a tribute act, it made me very appreciative, because Fake That is a good tribute act name.
Yeah, I mean, that is a good... You can have Take This.
Oh, yeah, that would work.
Yeah.
But it made me think that sometimes there are tribute act names that crease me up, and I looked into other ones that kind of I enjoyed. Stuff like Proxy Music. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, that is brilliant. That's excellent.
The Faux Fighters works well. Fake No More.
Fake No More. I've not heard that one.
Right. Iffy Clyro. That cracked me up when I saw that.
Iffy
Clyro. And By Jovi as well. Always made me laugh.
No Oasis.
No Oasis. Of course.
Yeah,
exactly. It works well. Apparently there's one called Break Wind and Fire.
Oh, fuck off. That's great.
Good, yeah.
That's amazing.
I imagine that's a more comedy version.
Amazing.
But yeah, you do have stuff like, you know, Dred Zeppelin and there was Gabba who did Ramon-style cover versions of ABBA songs as well. So
well, there's Mac Sabbath. Have you seen them?
Mac Sabbath, no.
Yeah, Mac Sabbath. It's they do Black Sabbath covers dressed up as characters from McDonald Land. So
I have seen that. Yes, I saw a photo. Right.
There's one of my favourite ones I came across recently is a Beastie Boys covers band called the Beast Decoys.
The Beast Decoys. That is quality.
It's fucking
really
great,
good.
isn't it?
I might put something on Twitter, like if anyone else has got stuff that they particularly like, just because there's going to be loads I haven't heard of. But yeah, there's just something that occurred to me along the way while I was
Fan-fucking-tastic, man. I'm glad you brought that along.
That was it.
As always, we put this out to Twitter for your comments on the record.
We've got John in Leeds, in fact, who has simply put, the greater the Barlow, the greater the hits. And I'm not sure if he means that in terms of writing or singing, but surely he can't mean singing.
Oh, who knows?
Ben Collins, he said he hated them at the time as they were enemy in the eyes of a 16-year-old me, listening to the Manics, Faith No More, Blur and Carter. While other 90s pop deserves re-evaluation, I assume this is actually still rubbish. So
interesting.
Ben, I mean, that's essentially where I was coming from as well whenever I came into
I was
this.
more hopeful.
Sure.
Oh, here's Gaz Jones. Secret, mega guilty pleasure at the time. My teenage mind could never understand how I could love Sepultura Sugar and take that at the same time. Fuck it. Prey is an all-time 90s pop banger, although nothing on this album compares to Mark Owen's Clementine.
Oh, wow.
Well, I've never heard Mark Owen's Clementine. I did meet him around that time. I'm sure I've told the story on the podcast before.
I can't remember if you have.
I was working in HMV. He came in and bought the Deeper Underground single from Godzilla by Jamiroquai.
Right.
I tried to sell him the whole album, tried to upsell him. He wasn't interested, but he did buy the single.
Oh, fair enough.
He was very, very pleasant, and he played with the Platinum American Express.
Wait, I've got a very 3 steps removed Mark Owen story as well. I was at a meeting at Island Records in, God, it must have been about 2000 or 2001, and the big meeting room was downstairs, and you could see out the window to the main drive coming up, and we were chatting about whatever it was, and I can't even remember what band it was. I'm sure it was someone also ran indie thing that got one single and then dropped. But walking down, I looked up, and Mark Owen was walking in, and we made eye contact, and he gave me a smile and a nod.
Yeah.
I had no idea who I was, but I was like, I must have looked shocked.
He was so affable, just
nice guy.
And this is the thing, right? And we've talked about this, I think, before in the podcast. But the thing about Take That, when they did the circuit the first time around, and everyone that was kind of on the low tier of the entertainment industry in the early 90s, they went out of their way to be so nice to everyone. In such stark contrast to the way that a lot of the acts acted, that when the time came around that they could have a second bite of the cherry, the industry and the people that had moved on and were now kind of gatekeepers in the industry were like, yeah, we're going to give these guys another run around, in a way that a lot of those acts didn't get another bite of the cherry.
I see.
So
okay.
I mean, how true that is, I don't know, but that's something I've certainly heard. And everyone, my own experience of meeting one of them was very, very positive.
Sure.
And everyone else I know has said
similar things.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
Katie Funnell.
Katie.
Guys, I'm sad you didn't call me for this one. And she is there. We've liked that. And she's then commented again, so much I could have given you for this one. Maybe we should have, Katie. I'm sorry we didn't.
Sorry, lad.
To be honest with you, if we'd had another guest that wasn't my wife on this, I'd have been stabbed. So don't take it personally. I just didn't want to get stabbed, Katie.
And then Niall Bakewell with the Zeros podcast has chipped in right at the end, just gone, tax allergic cunts.
Well, there you go. Although I'm going to be totally fucking honest with you, like as much shit as anyone gets given, if someone legitimately came to me and went, "We've got this scheme, it's totally up front and above board,
it's all legal,"
and I had a load of money, I'm not entirely sure I wouldn't have been tempted.
No,
but
and I do wonder. I know very little about the ins and outs of the case, obviously, but I do wonder if they even knew, or if the accountant just did that.
Yeah,
because that's what accountants are supposed to do.
Although, I think guy like Gary Barlow is a bit of a Tory, but
oh no, he's definitely on that tip, and therefore fuck that guy.
Yeah.
But no, and for that bit, I suspect they didn't know.
Look, the point is, this album, what did you think?
It was pretty much what I expected. I would have liked for there to have been a couple more unexpected bangers.
Yeah.
The ones that I recognised, I was pretty much, all right, I know I like that or don't. Nothing changed my mind. It reminded me of a couple of ones like, oh yeah, that is decent. But it also reminded me that I really don't like Relight My Fire or Everything Changes.
Everything changes apart from your mind.
They're very much so.
There we go.
That turns out. So,
yeah, I mean, for me, this was surprisingly bad.
Was it? Okay. Right.
Yeah, I was expecting to enjoy it more. I thought it would hang together better as a piece of work, and it doesn't. It doesn't really feel like a body of work. It feels like a...
No, but I imagine that's because they had to hit so many different markets. We've got to have the ballad for this.
I'm sure that's the case. I'm sure that's the case.
R&B for here.
What I will say is, when it hits, when it's good, it's very good.
Sure.
I mean, again, we disagree on Relight My Fire. Relight My Fire, Babe and Pray are the three, like, obviously big single high nights, and then obviously another Crack in My Heart is the kind of track that comes out and is the surprise track for me. I don't think this is a good album. Right. I don't think it's a terrible album.
Right.
Its highlights do redeem it, and obviously we've got to pick tracks 1, 2, or 3.
I wouldn't go 3, definitely.
Definitely not 3.
We could probably agree on 2 if you wanted, but does it deserve 2?
The only reason I make the case that it possibly does, because we like different tracks on it.
Yep.
We do like a decent proportion of the tracks on this record.
Okay, yeah.
And we also agree there's a lot of fucking bad filler.
Oh, yeah. There's some that are just wash out awful.
I think if we were going to do just one song, I think the one that we should do would be Another Crack in My Heart, because it's the one that everyone's not heard.
I would be up for that. Yep, absolutely.
And if I was going to add a second track, my first choice is out of the window.
Fire,
it would be between Babe and Pray, and I'd probably go Pray on.
I would go Pray
on brevity.
Yeah, I'll go Pray. I'm fine with those two.
Should we do those two?
I'm good with that.
All right, there you go. We get two. You get 2 from Take That on there. I mean, there will be more Take That later because they've got more number 1 albums.
Yeah, they absolutely do. Yeah, but one more anyway.
I'm glad we did that. It's kind of exactly the type of album that we put the podcast together to listen to. Glad I've got some perspective on it. Also, glad I wasn't totally wrong. It was an album worth avoiding at the time.
Yes, indeed. Yeah,
and I can't imagine that if that was your 90s, you had a better time than we did, because my 90s was a lot of fun.
Pretty fucking banging.
Anyway, guys, we will try and be back a lot quicker this time
we'll see what
around.
we can do. Back with Phil Collins and then kind of end of 93 wrap-up.
The circle is complete. The end of Collins. As always, please let us know what you thought on social media.
Yes, indeed.
It's lovely to hear from you guys. And yeah, we'll try and be back with you quicker next time around. Take it easy, ladies and gents.
Cheers, guys. Bye. Thank you for checking out this episode of Pop Collaborate and Listen. It was produced and edited by us, for which we can only apologise. We're on Twitter at PCL Podcast, on Instagram also at PCL Podcast, and facebook.com/PCL Podcast. All of these, plus links to our various Spotify playlists, etc., are on our website, which is pclpodcast.com. Please feel free to get in contact via any of the social media or on pclmusicpodcast@gmail.com.